Yo, welcome back to another episode of the NWurd Podcast. I am your resident black nerd, and man, this has been a jam-packed week. Crazy week. I watched a lot of anime, still been doing a lot of anime. I'm gonna get to the hot topic that everybody wants to talk about. We'll get to that at the very end. But let's talk about the anime that I've started watching. I still haven't gotten to Hunter x Hunter yet. Haven't gotten back to it. I have been watching Seven Deadly Sins. And let me tell you, this anime is it's decent. It's not great. It's not bad. It's just better than good, I guess. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's pretty decent. I like the animation. The cartoon work is pretty solid. I like that a lot. The thing that's killing it for me is the perviness. Like, it's above. My wife will watch the anime with me from time to time, and she'll be like, "This is so creepy." Like, it's just perviness from out of nowhere. It could be like a freaking dialogue between two characters, or even just a monologue, and he's talking about how he's going to save the village and correct everything, and you just get zoomed in on his face, and it's serious, and then they zoom back out, and his hand is on a boob. Like, where did that come from? Why is it there? This is the most pervy anime that I've ever seen in my life. Like, Naruto, which is like my favorite, they have pervy sage, whatever, like, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes having some of that character in the story is kind of funny from time to time, added in there. Naruto's I don't even know what that was, but the move where he turns into a little sexy steamy chick, it's funny from time to time. You throw it in there, people forget about it, he brings it back, funny, hee hee ha ha, right? But this show overdoes it, like, way too often. Like, it went from like, oh, that's kind of weird, like a camera angle like up a skirt, and you're like, that's weird. Okay. And then the next scene is just like boob groping, like, okay. And then it just starts to get to the verge where you're like, this is low-key hentai. Like, this is no longer like an anime. This belongs on a special category on one of them websites. You know what I'm talking about? Like one of them adult websites. It's kind of, at points it does it too much. Meliodas is a major creep. And outside of that, though, it's a good anime, like really good anime. The fight scenes are dope. It's plentiful. A lot of fighting, a lot of conflict. Also, you can tell where there's going to be a lot of character development as well. You can kind of see little spuds of that. I think I just finished episode 11, so I'm not super far into it, but I have gotten to see some of their powers, and some of their powers is kind of OP. Just like, wait, a little bit, like, I hate when they do that with characters. Like Meliodas, the one episode he got like put in a jar, like the freaking stone that nobody's supposed to be able to get out of, and only capture evil spirits, and so they're like, oh, he is evil. And then, what do you know, he like gets out of it, and then he just has like this OP like demon form that, like, he's just able to like just like nobody can stop. I mean, he did get stopped, but like it's just like, I hate that. Like, it's just too much. Like, why do you make him so overpowered that like you can just already see what's gonna happen? Like, nobody's gonna be able to beat him, especially like once he gets control over it. I can tell, you already just see it, the writing's on the wall. I already know what's gonna happen, so that kind of sucks. But I'm gonna keep watching it because it is dope. I would probably give it somewhere like a 6 or a 7 out of 10. So that feels like a good rating as far as I've seen so far. I haven't seen all the seasons, so I'll give y'all another update, see where we're at from there. But right now we're just gonna get at a 6 or a 7. It's cool. Definitely go watch it. I'm encouraging y'all to watch it if you can get past all the creepy, pervy stuff. Come on, y'all gotta do better. Like, that's just too creepy. It's too creepy. All right. And then out of TV stuff that we've been watching, me and my wife watch a lot of movies. Spend a lot of time on Netflix, Showtime, all of it. We got like pretty much all of them between like the group of us. And the thing that we've been watching, which we got to late because we were watching another show, which I'll review in the next episode, but I got to review this right now because everybody's watching it. Umbrella Academy season 2. We watched the first season long time ago, like way back. It wasn't even cool. I know I sound like a hipster, but it wasn't cool at that time. We watched Umbrella Academy season 1. Super dope. Loved it. Was into it. Forgot about it coming back out. Then it came out and it was hot. It's everywhere. And this season was dope.
What does the scouter say about his power level? It's over 9,000! What, 9,000? There's no way that can be right.
Like, super dope. I love that they made them spread out. I'm not going to spoil too much, but they spread them out through the timeline. Because if you watch the first season, you know what happens. The guy's able to travel back and forth through time. It's dope. Like I love that they had to catch each other at certain points in time, which that really didn't make too much sense because it's like they all going to continue to move forward. We're just gonna skip that plot hole, but it's dope. I love this season. There was so much stuff that happened. Like they ran into the dad towards the end of the season, and it like that blew my mind. That was just like a complete flip. Like, where did that come from? Like, dad is not like, I don't want to ruin it, but it's crazy. Watch it if you haven't. The dad situation was crazy, and then the way that they ended the season, like, what dad? Oh man, like this is how I feel right now. Y'all see how it is. I was blown away from that. Like that, the way that they ended that season was crazy. Now I just want to see season 3. Like, I hate not being able to binge watch. This is why I don't watch things like The Walking Dead was a show I watched for years from the very first episode, and then I just would stop watching it so I could binge watch like seasons at a time. And I definitely binge watched Umbrella Academy. My wife just got down on it, watched episodes back to back to back, like 3 episodes a night, that kind of stuff. And now I'm sad because it's so good. Like, they left on a major cliffhanger. Like, y'all did y'all thing with that one, because people are going to definitely queue in when the next season comes out, but they left on a major cliffhanger. I'm not going to spoil it. You definitely should see it. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Like, and Pops already knew what was going down too, which was crazy. The craziest part, because I'm just not going to spoil it, but they go through a time portal, then they come back, and now they're back in the regular time, but things are not like it was when they left. They screwed up majorly, like huge butterfly effect kind of stuff going on. They shouldn't have messed with the time thing. They should have just got in, got out, and went home, but they didn't. And so it's going to be interesting also to see how all their decisions and the choices and stuff that they made during those time frames back in the 60s affect 2019 where they left originally. So I'm excited to see what happens, because there's going to be so many butterfly effects, so many things that changed that shouldn't have changed, but that they messed up. So I'm excited. I'm just like pumped about it. It's going to be a really good season. The show is dope. On a scale of 1 to 10, you already know where I'm at.
What does the scouter say about his power level? It's over 9,000! What, 9,000? There's no way that can be right.
Hitting that Vegeta level 9,000 is good. It's just good. Like, it's one of the best shows that I've seen in a long time. For all my nerdy people out there, definitely worth watching. Definitely worth watching. It's a 10 out of 10. His power level is over 9,000. Y'all seen it. It's dope. It's just a really good show. I'm beyond excited to see season 3. I don't know how many times I've said that. Put the counter up. It's been at least 5 times that I said that. That's how good the show is. I'm beyond excited to see it. Another thing that I'm beyond excited to see, New Mutants.
It's over 9,000!
Wow. That looks fire. I am pumped. Power level over 9,000. You already know. It looks good. I'm a huge X-Men fan. Personally, I was really upset with the way that they did that series of movies. Like, I watched from when I was a kid, when the first one came out, until when did the last one come out? Like 2018, 2017, something like that. I don't even know. It wasn't that long ago, but they screwed up that story so much. Like, growing up watching like X-Men, like the cartoon, and then getting the real live action movies, they were such good movies, and the storylines were super dope. And then they were just like, hey, you know what? We screwed up, so let's just go back in time and erase everything. What? You just erase everything? And so I was so mad. It was like a 10-year gap, a decade between one X-Men movie and the next one. And then when you waited that 10 years and the movie comes out, and then they just were like, hey, screw it, we're erasing everything that you ever enjoyed about the series. And then they just ended it after that. Like, I watched them. I'm not gonna lie. I watched them because I wanted to get closure. It was like a bad relationship, you know what I mean? Like, and you hoping that they change, and they don't. They just keep beating you, and you like, I gotta stay in here, and then you just get you gotta get closure. You just trying to see what happens, and that's what I did. And he just kept beating me like that. I hate to make that analogy, but that's what it was. They really did that to us, and I was really broken up about it. But then they corrected it all with Logan. Logan is it's tied with another Marvel movie, but the Logan and the other Marvel movie are my top two. They're tied right there at number one. Nothing else even gets close to them. The storylines are phenomenal. So Logan corrected the whole X-Men debacle where they screwed up and they really dropped the ball. They fumbled the bag. Like, they screwed up with the X-Men series. But this New Mutants looks fire, and I'm excited to get in on that storyline. Like, that is going, the powers look crazy. It looks like we got a new no, I don't want to compare. I don't want to say Jean Grey, but like, I don't know. The powers are crazy though. I'm excited to see what they do with this. And now it's 2020, so like the ability to make live action stuff look really good with the CGI. I'm excited to see what they do with this. It comes out, I think it's out today, actually. It's out. It came out Friday. This is Sunday. I'm recording. So it's out, and I am tempted to get my family coronavirus by going to movie theaters because it looks good. Like, it looks that good where I would jeopardize my family's health to go see this movie. I'm not telling y'all to do that, but if you ain't got no family, maybe go check it out. I really want to get the bootleg version just so I can watch it, but I want to support because it's messed up when you don't support it, but it looks good. Like, it looks amazing. I'm excited. The storyline looks crazy. They're like trapped in a hospital that's supposed to keep them safe, but it's really not. It seems like they're running experiments on them. So it seems like they're going to band together, get on up out of there. And I want to see like who are the main villains and the main heroes in this series. Cause you know what I mean? Like, there's no Professor Xavier anymore. Cause he gone. And then Magneto, he lost his powers, but he started getting them back. So I wonder if Magneto's going to play a part in this and he's going to come back and rescue everybody or try to rescue everybody. I'm excited to see what happens. I never read the cartoons. So it'll be exciting to see what happens with that storyline. I might see how to download that joint and watch it online. I know that some movies are doing that kind of stuff where they release online and you can watch it at home. So I may do that. I'll let y'all know what happens with that. And then the last thing, the saddest news ever, Chadwick Boseman passed away. I had to talk about this. It just wouldn't make sense not to talk about this on the podcast because it's all about nerdy stuff. And Chadwick Boseman, especially as a black nerd, he did so much dope stuff. Like, he brought us, for one, Black Panther, which is tied as my number one with Logan. But Black Panther, that's crazy. Like, I mean, the last time that we really got to see a black superhero, which wasn't really a superhero, was Blade. Blade is like, he's not a superhero necessarily because he still got some evil tendencies. But the Blade was like the last time where you really got to see somebody. But aside from the nerd stuff, Chadwick Boseman did so many dope, great things in entertainment and film for us as black kids. Like, I mean, I'm an adult as Chadwick Boseman is doing all these films, but for younger black kids like that generation, you got to see him perform in so many films that, like, him being a black lead actor in traditional films. So like, you don't have to. Me growing up, I watched a lot of black movies, black cinema. So it's primarily black cast. Typically doesn't release in movie theaters. Smaller, like, and if it does, it's like few releases and few theaters. You have to be in a black city to go see them. So being able to have Chadwick Boseman be like the new Denzel or whatever, it's dope to have that for the younger generation. And it's sad as hell that he passed away because we just lost a great one. He played so many, like, he played Jackie Robinson, man. That's a story that a lot of people didn't get to learn. So it's what he did for film and for black nerds and for black youth in general. And he's just like a great dude and giving back to the community. And he did these films while doing surgery. Like, if you've ever like watched documentaries or anything, like seen interviews of people talking about like what it's like to be on a film like set, it's crazy. It's hella taxing. You have to be up at crazy hours in the morning, stay up all day long. Like, they are working hard on these film sets, and he did all of that to bring us great film and passed afterwards. And so I like, man, major shout out to you, salute to you, Chadwick Boseman. Is sorry to have someone pass that was so influential and so important to film and black nerddom. So special thank you Chadwick. And with that, we're gonna get out of here. This has been the NWurd. Peace.